For me, throughout my awakening journey, something that's been incredibly significant is learning about my ancestors and honoring my ancestors. I'm Iranian, but I was born in the UK. So I've had a slight disconnect with my culture. And so I've got this culture of the kind of Western culture I've been raised in, but I've also got the traditions of back home. In learning about my ancestors and in connecting with my culture, I started to understand who I am at a core level. I started to understand what makes me me. The good and the bad, everything, all mixed up together. On a genetic level, on a soul level, on a physiological level, on every way you look at it, it's all to do with who were these people? Who were your ancestors? What kind of lives did they have? When I first awakened and I started to learn about all of this spirituality, I had no idea I was learning about my ancestors. I had no idea I was connecting with my ancestors in a deep way, because this is how they lived. This is the way they saw life. We look at an ancient story that's like carved into a wall from 4,000 years ago, and we look at that story and go, oh man, that's just fake. And then we turn on the news and we believe that. We turn on the news and believe that, completely ignoring the people who made us, who carried on your bloodline, my bloodline. We ignore the things that they left for us. They thought this is so important, we have to make this massive scripture in a wall, in a mountain. We have to make this massive palace or a pyramid or some superstructure. That's how important the wisdom was. That's how much they wanted us to know. Because again, if you look at the ancient civilizations, they always say that humans are going to become ignorant in some way. Over time, humans are going to become ignorant. So they left the nuggets for us. And now we're starting to actually see them. We're starting to believe them. We're starting to uncover, literally, whether it's uncovering it from the sand or from under the earth in some way. We're uncovering them and we're starting to understand the codes that they left us. And that's what we're seeing today. That's what we're seeing with everything that's going on, is us awakening to who we truly are, to our true power within. It's truly an incredible age that we live in. Don't be fooled by the smokes and mirrors that try and get you down. Don't be fooled by those holograms we see on screens. Trust the wisdom of your own ancestors. Trust the wisdom of the people that created this world. And that's real life. When you start tapping into that, you start seeing real life. You start seeing past the illusions and start grounding yourself in truth. Until I started to uncover this stuff, I was lost. And over the last, 5 years as I've been awakening, the more I've been able to trust this stuff, the more I've been practicing this stuff, the more I've been understanding myself at a core level. Growing up in this country is easy to be fooled by the illusions, because the culture here is not my culture. But the culture here, the Western culture, it's not even their own culture. The Druids, the Celtics, they had their own belief systems, they had their own philosophies. And those philosophies are in line with my ancestors' philosophies. So the culture that I've been brought up in, and I say that is foreign to me, how could I understand myself when I'm growing up in a foreign culture, is even foreign to the people who live in this country. The more we can dissolve the ego and the identity we've created, thinking, oh, I'm a football fan, or oh, I'm this religion, or I'm this and that. But we all had the same culture and the same wisdom at some point in our history. Wherever you go in the world, whatever culture, they all practice the same stuff. That was just, they called it their own names. They had their own language, so they called it their own names. Or they had their own perspective. But it's the same truth that they all practiced, the same wisdom that they handed down. That truth started to become concealed. That truth started to become lost in the chaos of what human civilization has become. It can seem like we're divided, but we're not. It's all an illusion. It's all a screen. It's all a belief system that has been given to us as a false truth. Now is a time of awakening. People are starting to understand who they truly are. People are starting to tap into that wisdom, that wisdom that is inside our ancient cultures. Especially in the last 3 years, we can see clearly people are slowly awakening, or should I say very fast, rapidly awakening to the power of who they are. There was a message, there was a wisdom that was passed down, and there was a truth to our reality, to our world, that our ancestors wanted us to remember before the culture was changed, before the traumas of war that destroyed our ancient culture. We have an ancient way of being, and the universe is declaring it right now. With that beep, is saying it's true. And you can go to any, it doesn't matter if you're Indian, if you're Chinese, doesn't matter if you're doesn't matter if your ancestors were Vikings. They all practiced the same wisdom. They all practiced similar. They might have called it different things. They might have a slightly different perspective on it. But the practice was the same. The wisdom, the source, the knowledge, the truth was the same truth. Today I shared a bit of that. I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Peace.